only tarmac test in the 24 stages of the rally, a quick 3.6-kilometre sprint through a partly developed housing estate. It's the nearest thing you will get to Ramelton in the Donegal International for Ed Colton and the Peugeot. Abbas Al-Moussaoui, by now an adopted Irishman in the Sierra, shows his skill and brilliance. But for sheer speed and courage, one must look to the Saeed Al-Hajri-driven Toyota, who leads from Mamdouh Kayat. The Mitsubishi Galant, like the leading Toyota and Ford, has the benefit of four-wheel drive and a powertrain pushing out close to 300 angry horses. The Colton Peugeot, a weakling by comparison, has picked up the pace and is now in 12th position overall. Here on the university stage, the Irish Sierra is caught by Stuart Cope's Lancia Delta. It's obvious that the front suspension of the Ford is still the problem. The Oakley Subaru is very much on the pace and in contention for Group N, and the Tulip Computers Peugeot, driven by Joe Murray, is really on the pipe. Howard Patterson is 10th, helped by a local service crew, while John Morton has dropped to 14th after a ball joint broke on the Integrale on stage 9. Abu Hamid of Jordan in the Toyota Celica is 16 minutes off the pace set by Saeed, while the Citroën Turbo Diesel of Tom Cofield from Scotland is about the same distance behind. This Group S Opel Manta 400 is slightly lost on the university stage. Al-Assad of Syria makes his way through the damp section, while the Range Rover of Abdullah Bakashab from Saudi, co-driven by Belfast's Bobby Willis, is at times the quickest of the Group S competitors. Night arrives quickly in the desert. The sands grow cold and somewhat unfriendly. It's more difficult now to make one's way, even with proper pace notes and lights. And so at the end of day 1 and 13 stages, the order is as expected. Ed Colton's a brilliant 9th overall, and Joe Murray is 13th. And so it's back to Doha for the overnight rest. Day 2 and Al-Hajri continues to set a blistering pace. Few men know the desert like Saeed. All Mamdouh can do is keep trying and hope that the Toyota will break. Sheikh Fad, 35 seconds off second place, has high hopes of catching the Ford Sierra. John Morton was 12th overnight and is back in the groove, while on the same stage north of Doha, the Range Rover of Bakashab and Bobby Willis has to live with the scourge of the desert, a puncture. Ed Colton has dropped several places by wrong slotting twice, but he has refound the route along the pipeline. Also into the reckoning come Britain's Simon Nutter in his Peugeot. He's 10th overall at this stage. And Joe Murray and Leslie Murphy's Peugeot grinds to a halt with a puncture, but many hands make light work, even in the desert. The Group S battle sees this Qatari Land Rover into 4th overall and best in its class. The Kaplan Toyota is still wallowing, if only in 19th position. But there is no stopping Saeed Al-Hajri in his Toyota. He is now over 5 minutes up on the Kayat-Nicholson-Cosworth combination. John John Morton's Lancia is now 5th at this point, but he will soon crash out. The Colton Peugeot finishes stage 18 with another destroyed tyre, yet another delay for the Irish car.
Well, obviously we have the puncture there, but we're keeping nice and steady this morning, you know. Unfortunately, we got lost in the first real stage this morning. Just took a wrong slot and had to turn around and come back, which lost us a couple of minutes. But...
Okay.
At service, rally leader Saeed Al-Hajri is still being practical.
Yeah, still 6 stages to go, and it's really not the easy 6 stages, you know, really rough and long also. But I have to keep looking after my lead, you know, the time I've been already made. Also, Dubai, and this is the first here, and it's the first in the Qatar.
The plan this year is that we have 5 rounds of the championship with this backing, and we're also hoping to come to Ireland for 2 rallies later on in the year.
What rallies are those?
Well, we've planned Donegal, and also hoping to do one more just before it. It might be Cavan.
But we've certainly got the best service crew. It's incredible. We've got 10 guys here that just, every time we come in, they just can't do enough to the car. Very, very good. We haven't had any problems yet, but I'm sure if we have, they'll sort it. The only problem we've got now is that we're down to 1 tyre, 1 spare. So if we have a puncture now, we've got big problems.
Back on the track, Saeed again shows his skill. Watch how he avoids the bumps, changing route where he can preserve the car. Yet that frightening speed is ever present. Mamdouh Kayat is the first professional rally driver from Saudi Arabia to compete in the Middle East Championship. With backing from a Saudi oil company, his aim is to be the region's champion, and he's certainly not short of courage. Sheikh Fahad's Mitsubishi is still chasing the Sierra. The margin is reducing by the kilometre, but is it too late? Bobby Willis and his Saudi driver Abdullah Bakashab have fought their way to 6th, while Joe Murray was to finish a satisfying 13th overall and Ed Colton a brilliant 9th. Simon Nutter is the bravest of all to bring home his disintegrating Peugeot at the tail of the field. But Saeed Al-Hajri is the real star of a rally, which means great things for the 5-round championship and for the organisers of this event, the Qatar Motorsports Club.
To win my home rally there. You had a good 2 days with the car and with the coach. Very good, strong competition, nice rally, very well organised, really good.